Hey guys.
Hey guys.
Take 3.
3 actually, yeah, you're right.
Welcome back to Ledford. I'm Serein, this is Chris.
Hey.
We're filming this in the middle of the night because we've been fostering Apollo. If you follow me on my Instagram or Chris on his Instagram, it's been quite interesting. We love him to death. He's
all puppy. He is solid puppy.
And you've been waking up every 3 hours with him.
Yeah, so last night he slept in 3-hour increments. So every 3 hours he would get up and he would need to pee or he would whine. I would take him out, put him back in the pen, sleep for 3 hours. It's literally like having a newborn, so not a lot of sleep.
Anyways, today's video we're answering some of your questions that you sent in over on Instagram stories as well as on our community page. Now, we promised 12 videos for Fitmas and you're gonna get 12, but we are most likely gonna push it into past December 12th because Apollo is way more handful. We still are running my main channel, the podcast, which there are new episodes, as well as we're both continuing our studies in continued education. So let's get started with some questions that are related to health and fitness. The first one, how important is cardio and is HIIT a good idea for a beginner?
So cardio is important, but it's not everything. I think one of the biggest misconceptions, the biggest things that people think that they need to do when they first start to work out again or they want to work out is they decide they want to get on the treadmill and just run. And that's often not the best thing that you can do. It's great to get your body moving and get that blood flowing, but depending upon what it is that you're looking to achieve, what your goals are, it may not be the best thing for you. And as far as, what was the second word, is HIIT?
Yeah.
Is HIIT a good idea for a beginner? It can be. You can also do, instead of high intensity interval training, you can do low intensity interval training. This is where I might recommend that you talk to a professional if you can swing it. Go find a certified personal trainer that can help make sure that when you do your high interval intensity training that you're not going to hurt yourself, because there are things that you want to make sure that you're doing correctly so that you don't roll an ankle or mess up your knee or whatnot. So you want to make sure that you have a certain you have certain things in place, like your stability checkpoints are all in good shape.
Yeah, so a lot of the times when you see these crazy high intensity interval training on Instagram, these women and men are typically already relatively fit and strong. So they're doing a lot of sideways lunging and jumping, and that's not something I would recommend for a beginner. Would you agree?
Yeah, like I said, the most important thing is before you start any intense workout training, you want to make sure you have good stability in your joints. That way, the slightest, if you slip and fall or tumble or whatnot, you're not doing more damage than needs to be done.
Well, and you might be fit cardio-wise, but are you strong joint-wise? So it's very particular, and anytime you work with a professional, they should assess where you're at and help you build up your weaknesses, because we all have them. Mm-hmm. Okay, so then what has helped you stay motivated in your fitness journey? So we get this asked a lot, and it's different for both of us. We talked about it a little bit on our stories, so sorry if we're being repetitive. For me, if you're not familiar with me, I deal with depression, which also can lead to anxiety, and it can be a downward spiral. What I've actually found is if I maintain my health and wellness overall, which means diet and exercise are the two key components for me. If I maintain those things and keep it at a pretty balance, then I'm able to avoid periods of really bad depression, and even when I get depressed, I'm able to get out of it a little bit quicker. And it's no surprise that diet and exercise are such huge components to keeping my mental state and emotional state balanced, because our gut actually has over 5 billion neurons, and it produces happy hormones like serotonin and dopamine, just like our brain. So when you feed your stomach or your body healthy whole foods and keep your blood sugar even, it's going to allow your body to function and produce the happy hormones it might be missing if you're dealing with depression and anxiety. And then on top of that, everything just functions a little bit better. If I don't feel achy, if I don't feel low energy, I'm going to be able to just live my life a little bit more consistently and happily. I used to get headaches really consistently every day at 3 and 4, and when I changed my diet, they were gone. That now with exercise, we all know exercise creates endorphins. Endorphins make you happy, and happy people don't kill you or kill people. So with the combination of exercise and balanced diet, I'm able to avoid some of my tendencies. Now on top of that, when I do have moments of depression, if I can maintain my diet and maintain my fitness, even if it's not as intense as it normally is, if I just leave the house and work out, I seem to be able to function better and also get out of the depression quicker. That's just what I found after dealing with it for 35 years. And by knowing this logically and knowing it on a daily basis, it helps keep me going when I am depressed, or if I start feeling a little bit like, oh, these are some of my tendencies that's about to trigger depression. If I can just get myself to the gym and not fall into my bad eating habits, I know that I'll thank myself later. So once you develop these habits and you see the benefits, it's easier for you to maintain it. The hardest thing for anybody is to start and create the habits.
For me, I just treat it like any other thing that I have to do every day. I treat it the same thing as the same way as I treat brushing my teeth or taking a shower. It's just something that's part of my day that is kind of a non-negotiable. You don't always win, so I don't do the gym every single day, but I try to do at least 6 days a week, and I stay disciplined on that, because if I don't, I feel like my body craves it a lot, and if I miss more than a day or two, then I really get kind of grumpy and irritable, because I get mad at myself for not being disciplined with it.
And despite popular belief, I only work out between 4 and 5 days max. Some weeks 3. It just depends. Do you always stretch before and or after working out? Do you have a routine you'll share? So I was actually going to plan out an upper body and a lower body stretch routine, and this wasn't necessarily that you had to do before a workout or after. I personally like to take my time and do really long stretching, especially the areas that I was working. So if it's upper body, I'm going to do a lot of upper body. If it's lower body, my stretch routine lasts a lot longer because your legs are bigger muscles. I come from a dance background, so it feels weird to me if I don't take that time to stretch. That keeps me flexible. It also builds my flexibility, which matters to me. And for me, I just find that I enjoy it as my cool down.
So I don't do a whole lot of static stretching, which is what people think stretching is. Typically when you say stretching, which is taking the muscle to extension and holding it to try to get it to go longer. I do that more in jiu-jitsu than I do when I do free weights. When I'm lifting, I tend to do things like myofascial release and whatnot.
They don't know what that is.
Yeah, so like foam rollers. So I'll take a foam roller if I have a tender spot or an overactive muscle. I'll put that foam roller on that overactive muscle, and I'll hold that for a good 30 seconds so that it'll release, and it'll give me a little more mobility and a little bit. I'm more able to lift the weights that I want to lift. So stretching is not only about just the stretching that you might think of traditionally. There's lots of different ways to warm up, which I think is the most important thing. You just don't want to go right into working out with cold muscles.
So for me, warm up, like he said, it's not necessarily a stretch for me. It's more like, today I did arms. I'll like kind of swing my arms, do the circles backwards, and I'll use a 2.5 pound weight just to kind of loosen up my shoulders, warm up your body. And when I do glutes, I have a glute gym workout and I do glute activators. So you just want to make sure. Can we please finish this video? I gave you a bone and everything. So most people will say diet is the most important thing, and when you're trying to lose weight or trying to get healthy, I agree that diet is about 70 to 80% very important, because so much of what we're eating and used to eating in this country actually is the reason that we're dealing with diabetes, being pre-diabetic, the obesity rate. There's so many things. A high blood pressure could also be fixed with diet. Now, that being said, just because you're changing your diet and seeing your waist size go smaller, it doesn't mean that that's the epitome of health. Just because you're skinny doesn't mean that you're healthy, because along with diet, you do need some sort of exercise. Exercise going along with a proper diet will help reduce your need for high blood pressure medication. Exercise also helps your body internally produce its own medicine. Nitrous oxide, I believe is what it's called, or I'm making up the name because I remember it. It's NO. The scientific abbreviation is NO. I think of it as like Fast and the Furious.
I need NOS. I need NOS.
But anyways, because what that really does is it gives your body that boost, that energy it needs to repair itself and to function properly and to not age internally. So exercise helps your body produce the NO even when you're not exercising, but it's found that while you're exercising is when it happens the most, and it'll eventually train your body to produce it continuously even in between your exercises. Now that doesn't mean that you have to work out 6 days a week. It means you have to move 20 minutes a day for 6 days a week, and includes active stretching, it includes isolation workouts, it includes cardiovascular, and it includes weightlifting. So the best type of exercise you can do is the one that you're going to actually do, and that's yoga, Pilates, walking your baby, pushing a stroller, going on a hike, walking around the neighborhood, doing one of our videos twice. It really just is about being active and moving your body, and that's the bare minimum. Now if you want to build muscle, you're gonna have to lift some weights. You're gonna have to do some body weight exercises as well.
Yeah, get moving, stay moving. That's the most important thing. A lot of times we live a very sedentary lifestyle these days. We sit behind a computer all day long, so our shoulders slump.
We drive everywhere.
So you're in a constant, elevated shoulder position. Maybe you're a painter, your hands are always up. So you want to do things that help correct those muscle imbalances, and just be smart about it, because you'll be happier, and as we start to live longer with modern medicine, you want to feel good as you're living longer. So no low back pain, that's a big one. So yeah, get moving, stay moving.
Okay, best workout bra. So this is a little bit hard because I'm actually around my rib cage at 29, 28, and my boob size is actually a D. So for me, I like certain bras from Aloe and Lululemon, but here's the deal. Not all bras are going to fit me from these brands because they have very low cut. They don't have the support. So I always look for a higher cut on the chest line as well as on the armpit area, because if it's too tight, it's going to create spillage, which is actually gonna look unpleasant and not very flattering. Now, Lorna Jane also makes a great basic racer bra, but I take the pads out. If it's cold, your nips are gonna show. That might be a problem for some. I don't really care. And then I also really love the Whitney Simmons and Gymshark collection. It's why when I tried it on, I bought I think 4 total. It's the best sports bra I've found. It's very flattering. It has a very high armpit height and in the back, so there's no spillage. I feel secure. I feel like I still have some cleavage and it's holding me in. So I did do a full try on of the collection on this channel, and I'll link that video in the description box or in the cards. But it was limited edition. I do like a lot of the Gymshark sports bras though, the racerback sports bras, for that reason, because I feel like they're making sports bras a little bit more for curvier women. That being said, my medium doesn't fit me anymore because it's too loose and not really supportive, but I also did lose 17 inches all around.
Booyah, look at that.
How do you stay motivated to work out consistently and stick to a diet? So I think we pretty much answered that, but if you need more, we're happy to elaborate even more, so you can leave us an additional question if you didn't feel like we answered that. What are some common health fitness misconceptions, or how has your view of health changed throughout your journey?
Okay, so this is a really good one. Some of the biggest misconceptions about health and fitness and diet especially, when people typically are deconditioned or out of shape, and they decide that they want to get in shape again, one of the first things they do is they decide that they're going to go on quote-unquote a diet, and whatever that diet may be. It's often carb heavy, it's often a lot of salads, a lot of like grapefruit, things like that, and then a whole lot of cardio. And again,
or it could be overly protein heavy.
Or overly protein heavy. Like
Or very restrictive in calories.
Yeah, and that's not necessarily the case. You really have to figure out what it is that you're looking to do. Are you looking to build lean muscle mass? Are you looking to lose inches in your waist? All valid things. You just have to be very specific with what you want to do. And then again, my biggest piece of advice is find a professional, find a personal trainer, find a nutritionist that can help you along that journey, because there's a lot of really bad information out there. And whatever you're searching for, you'll find it. It's called confirmation bias. So if you're searching for a reason why this diet that you're doing is working, you'll find that people out there that will support it. And it may not be true, it may not be the right thing for you. So my biggest piece of advice is find somebody that can help you that really knows what they're talking about.
So perfect time to kind of plug our 6-week challenge here. As Samantha Souza, certified nutritionist, and myself, who will be a certified health coach as of December 22nd, specifically for adults and seniors, we are doing a 6-week challenge where we will be giving you individualized plans based on your goals and your diet restrictions or diet wants and needs. Because both of us, both Samantha and myself, we've done the gamut. She was vegan for 2 years. I've tried being a pescatarian. I've tried being ketotarian. I've done keto. I've done low carb. I've done only eating salads. I've been highly restrictive. I've done the gamut. And all diets work. It's about figuring out which diet is sustainable for you for the rest of your life, allowing you treats once you've reached your goals and once you've broken some of your bad habits. For me, I had to come off of, don't bite me. What? For me, I had to come off of my addiction from sugar, simple carbohydrates, and starches. After I broke those addictions and understood what my body actually was craving and needing, I'm able to have my treat meals here and there. I never feel great after them, so my treat meals actually are going further and further apart. But I think there's a misconception that you have to be restrictive, that you have to live this way for the rest of your life.
And it has to hurt. That's the other thing too. Like,
did you just try to bite me?
He's like, no, I didn't, I promise. I think that's the other misconception that I wanted to talk about, was people think that to be successful in a diet or a workout plan, it has to hurt, it has to be unfun. And that's not the case at all. It can be very pleasurable, very enjoyable, both diet and exercise.
Now, if you're highly addicted to sugar and processed foods,
it won't be fun at first.
It won't be fun at first because you have to kind of wean your body off of it. And the addiction to sugar is no joke. They actually did like a brain scan of someone on sugar and someone on cocaine. Yeah,
so when we first did keto, and we were detoxifying from sugar, I felt like I had cataracts for a couple days. Like I couldn't see, I couldn't think. Like it was awful. But once it got out of my system, it was the best I had felt.
And there's always tips and tools that we can help you with, specifically during the 6-week challenge if you're coming off of a heavy sugar addiction. There's like tips that Samantha can give you to kind of avoid some of the keto flu if you choose keto. We don't only do keto. And that's what's so great about this program, is we're taking what we find so beneficial of having a group aspect and a group challenge, like gift bags, group chats, group live calls, and a community built in that everyone's kind of on the same journey of wanting to get healthy, and of course a chance to win $500. But the issue is that everyone's on a different path. You might be pre-diabetic and just wanting to be not pre-diabetic. You might want to build muscle. You might want to just lose some body fat and keep the muscle you have. Now, that's why it's going to be such an amazing challenge, because every week you are getting one-on-one attention with a nutritionist to give you macros and calories specific to you, your goals, and your body and your lifestyle. And after the 6 weeks, we want you to be free of us and not need us, because a good coach doesn't want you to need us. We want you to be independent after working with us. And that is our goal. If you want to come back with us, great. But at the same time, we want you to be successful on your own. So I will have that linked in the description box, and we are offering partial payments, half up front, half later. It is cheaper if you pay all up front, just because of accounting and stuff. And then finally, Oh, yes. So I think diet, exercise, that you have to go hard and strong on either one. I think slow and steady wins the race. I also think health is all encompassing and it all is related. It boosts, like, feeling good on the inside will boost your confidence. You'll start to look younger. You'll start to feel better. Like, there's just everything goes along with everything, as Apollo's trying to leap at the camera. And then I'm struggling with finding a good all-around fitness shoe that can go between elliptical training and HIIT, preferably not too expensive. I'm currently using Adidas for workouts and Brooks for my walking, running. Any suggestions?
I love Adidas. Like, Serena and I both currently wear the, which one is it? The
Ultra Boost.
Ultra Boost. And that one gives like a lot of good support. So you should be able to go back and forth between both HIIT and, what'd she say?
The elliptical.
And the elliptical. Yeah, you should be able to go back and forth between the two with that particular shoe. Also,
the only thing is, if you have some sort of pronation or if you have some sort of knee issues, that's when we would say
go to a specialty store.
Yeah, so I don't know if you have a Runner G or something like it. It's an actual boutique specialty running store, and they will watch how you walk or jog, and they can see if you pronate or if you do something weird, and they can advise you in terms of a shoe. Now, a trick is they will fit you for like $5 usually, and then you can write down the model of the shoe and think about it. You can usually find the shoe a little bit more affordable. I personally just pay for the shoe there because of their service, and what they're providing is a specialty. So that's your choice. And a good pair of shoes should last you 2-3 years, unless you're running a marathon. And if you take care of it, you know, they really do last quite a bit of time. And on top of that, but what we're saying is the shoe that can do HIIT should be able to do the elliptical and should be good for light walking. The only thing is your running shoe, if you bought a running shoe, could be a little bit more cushioned, and that could potentially be dangerous if you're doing HIIT, a lot of side-to-side plyometrics, because you could potentially like twist.
But again, that comes back to having good, stability in your joint, and you want to work up to that.
Now, we are also going to be testing out some non-branded workout shoes.
More of an independent company.
See how they fit and work, and once we test that out, we'll obviously recommend if we like it. Now that we're growing our fitness and health community, we are having access to be able to discover newer brands that maybe aren't so expensive or maybe are a little bit more specialized or geared towards your needs. So when we have a shoe, we will definitely recommend it to you. But also keep in mind that Adidas is a great brand. They are quite sustainable in their efforts for such a large company, and they have the Parlay line, which uses recycled water bottles. So it might be a little pricier, but again, it should last you a little longer, and they're a great company. Anything else?
That's it. Get moving, stay moving.
Just like this one.
Who doesn't stop moving.
So thank you for bearing with us while we figure things out, and we're hoping we figure things out for him. Anyways, we're gonna go run him to sleep, essentially.
Yeah. And
don't forget to check back. Our schedule's gonna be a little wonky. We apologize for that, but there will be 12 videos, and we had 5 videos go up last week, so check out the Fitmiss 2019 playlist in the description box, and check out one of our workouts if you want to get started, because it's never too early or too late to start, ever. It's never. Don't let anyone tell you it's too early or too late. Start now.
Bye, guys.
Bye.